Noted for its rich heritage, St. Matthew's United Methodist Church celebrated 150 years of unity and service in 2016. To capture this most auspicious moment in time, we proudly present this video, which compiles the church's history through stories from its members, past and present, as well as archive information.
People have asked me whether St. Matthew's was an offshoot of West Market United Methodist Church. No, completely different churches. St. Matthew's was founded by newly freed men and women who now had the freedom of worship. Some of them probably worshiped at West Market United Methodist and were on the rolls, but they left of their own accord and wanted to have a church in their neighborhood, in the Warnersville community, and did so.
Your Arthur Warner had established the Warnersville community for the freed slaves right after the Civil War, so that they would have a place that they could call their own home.
St. Matthew's is the oldest African-American church in Greensboro, and it was the first church for African-Americans to have a structure. And that was a tremendous accomplishment in that day in time. And the year, 1866.
The spirit of the church, it was great. And when they would play that pipe organ, it seemed like to me that just uplifted everything.
My biggest memory about the old church is I was a Boy Scout.
My earliest impression of St. Matthew's was when I was a student at North Carolina A&T College, and I was a member of the a cappella choir.
46 to 1960s was a church. I started to take ministry here at the church.
I certainly remember when the church was being built here. I can recall the ground being turned up and moving out of the old St. Matthew's Church and having services at Bennett College. And that was very meaningful, certainly because Bennett College was founded in the basement of St. Matthew's.
One of the memories that I have when we were small, we would walk to St. Matthew's Church. We would meet up at the corner of Perkins and Dean Street and walk the railroad track over to the old St. Matthew's Church.
I've been here for my entire 38 years of living. My parents are Alva Nixon Gripper and Johnny Lee Gripper.
The Vacation Bible School had a lot of children at that time that attended. We had a lot of children that attended Sunday school. We had under direction of Mrs. Dean, I think Mrs. Marion Scarlett taught during my time.
My grandfather, who was pastor of this church up until 1960, was district superintendent of the Greensboro district. And while he was district superintendent of the Greensboro district, baptized me here at St. Matthew's at the church on Elm Street.
Being the president of the gospel choir, we travel all over New York, West Virginia, all over North Carolina, and different sections of the country, and just had a wonderful time.
For the pastors, one thing about this church, quite a number of the pastors who pastored this church were district superintendents, former district superintendents, or went from here to the district. It was a kind of church that, through the years, Dr. Phelps and Dr. Brower, those stayed here for several years, and they went to the district. They kind of exchanged a great deal, very much in those years. But it was the church that most of the pastors wanted to come.
Bishop Allen reminded me of the history, the glorious history of St. Matthew's. He reminded me of the need of the church to move into contemporary and futuristic kinds of ministry.
And as you all know, churches are living organisms. And in 150 years, you have been a vital congregation that has made a difference in the lives of people in Greensboro.
This church reaches out to the community in more ways than anybody will ever know. St. Matthew's values her children. They are an integral part of the service and of the ministry of this church.
The church has been here. Even though through hard times, we can still make it through 400 years, which is a really long time, that we can come here and worship the Lord.
And I look forward to a long tenure. It's my hope that every year we just rise higher and higher in the glory of God. I know that this will be one of my best appointments. And I know that this will be the best time in the life of St. Matthew's, not because I'm its pastor, but because God has not forgotten about us. God raises up his kingdom through his churches.
This video will be available in the near future.